Hello, this is Reverend Bill, and today is February 1st. It's about 9:35 in the evening. Beautiful day today. I went for a hike for about an hour. It was just absolutely wonderful. Great weather out there now. It's nice. Hopefully, winter's gone for now. So I was wondering what I was going to do today. And originally, I thought about doing a review of Emilia Perez, but what's the point? If you want to find out how bad that movie is, everyone's doing it. What I gather, it's absolutely terrible. I didn't see any point in wasting 2 hours of my life to tell you what we already know. Um, I don't think she's going to win the Best Oscar because now they found some tweets she did from 4 years ago, which are disparaging against certain people. I don't know. I didn't read them. That doesn't go over well nowadays. So hopefully that's going to be yesterday's news. But I started thinking about a lot of this, and I've mentioned about witchcraft before and Satanism and how it's getting to be very popular in Hollywood. And I read again how The Weeknd is a Satanist, and Christopher Bale actually thanked Satan on an award that he got. And it's just, I think it's just kind of getting a little out of control there. And people have got to get back, I think, to the roots. Um, People are quick to believe in Satan, but yet they don't acknowledge the Lord. And it's like you can't have hot without cold. You can't, yeah, and you can't have Satan without God. I mean, um, it's that obvious. And if you're not praying and recognize how the importance of prayer to keep evil out of your life, I ask you to reconsider because there are bad people out there. I've experienced Satanism and witchcraft and all that. I've mentioned that before. And the Lord's there, and He's actually the one that helped me turn the tide. And if I didn't defeat the witches and Satanists, I at least held them off indefinitely. So I do happen to know that they both exist. So I thought instead I would get back to maybe talking a little bit about maybe lesser known great people in the Bible. And everyone seems to know about Moses or Noah as great prophets. You hear the name Elijah, but I wonder how many people really know who Elijah was. He was a very important prophet, and there's many stories about him. I'm just going to share one with you. It's kind of a cute story from the Bible. It's from Kings, 1 Kings. Elijah actually spills over into 2 Kings as well. But I'm just going to do a certain story from 1 Kings. I'll tell you from where I'm reading. I usually the King James version. But essentially, Elijah was a Hebrew prophet, and he does rank up there with Moses as being one of the better known influential prophets in the Bible. He helped keep the religion of Yahweh, Yahweh being the God of Israel, our Christian God as well, and tried to keep the people from being corrupted by the false idols, most notably Baal. And Elijah's name actually means Yahweh is my God. Okay. He came from a place called Gilead, which was about 30 miles away from the capital of Israel, called Samaria. Um, there was an Israelite king named Omri who had a son, Ahab, who would eventually take over from his father as being king of the Israelites. And he had his eye on a woman that we probably all heard of called Jezebel, and he was very much in love with her. She was a big supporter of a false idol, Baal, and she was very close with the priests and prophets of this false idol. So they eventually married. Baal, by the way, was a god of fertility, rain, and storms. I mean, but he was false, obviously. But when they married, she brought him into the Israelites and used her influence to kind of force that on them, so that eventually it became a dual deity, a place. They put Baal on the same level as Yahweh, our God. Yahweh actually is translated, by the way, to "I am who am." Um, which is, I think he introduced that first to Moses in the burning bush, if I'm not mistaken there. Uh, and his name's also has been translated to Jehovah, if you've heard that name, and that was started by Christian monks, but I'm getting a little off the story here. So when Elijah got to Samaria, when he went there, he saw a temple with a large wooden statue of the pagan god Baal. And he saw another one with a pagan goddess, Asherah. And I don't really know what she's a goddess of, but she's obviously another false idol. So the king Ahab, who had now taken over from the father Omri, was now king, and he was dragged into worshiping Baal. So Elijah came over to King Ahab. He got an audience with him. And he told them that God was not going to give them rain for a number of years due to the false worship of the god of Baal. He said to him, and I'm quoting the Bible here, "As the Lord God Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word." That's 1 Kings 17, 1. And obviously, the people there did not want to hear this because they used, obviously, water for the crops and for drinking, many things, obviously. And the king got very, very angry. And because of the anger of the king, Elijah feared for his life. So God came to him and told him to go eastward to a brook of the brook of Cherith, that is just before Jordan. So Elijah said, "Well, I don't have anything to eat or drink or sustain me." And he said that the water will be there and we'll take care of you. When you get there, you will find ravens, and ravens will take very good care of you. They're with me. So Elijah, you don't question God, and he knew this. So he went to this river of Cherith, and there was no food there. So after this long journey, he decided that the next best thing was to take a nap, go to sleep. So when he woke up, he found that there was a flat stone next to him, and on there was bread and meat. And the ravens were bringing him food, and they were putting it on the flat stone next to him. And this maintained him for quite a while. So his food was not an issue. But eventually, because of the drought that took place, the river began to dry up, and the food the ravens were bringing got fewer and fewer. And Elijah began to worry again because he couldn't go back still. So what does he do now? So God said to Elijah, "Get thee to Zarephath." These names are going to kill me. Zarephath, I guess, which belonged to, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. That's 1 Kings 17:9. And when Elijah arrived, he saw a woman that he thought might be the widow. And he asked her for water, and she looked very unhappy. And she went and she got him a cup of water. And he thought, well, I'll press my luck here, make sure this is the right woman. And he asked her for maybe a piece of bread. And at this point, she cried, and she said that due to the drought, which affected her also, her and her son were starving. She only had enough flour and oil to make one more meal. And then she pretty much had decided that her and her son was going to starve to death. So Elijah said, "Fear not, go and do haste, thou said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and thy son." 1 Kings 17:13. So he told her that after she tends to him and makes him the last meal, that she will have enough to feed her and her son too. So she did that, and it was a process, kneading the flour and doing all that cooking. And she brought out the food to Elijah. Very sad because now she was completely out of food. And Elijah told her, don't worry about it, go back. And she did. And when she got there, she found both the oil and flour were both overflowing. So things were going really well then for a while. And then after a while, the widow's son got very sick. And he was so sick that the Bible described him as so sore that there was no breath left in him. That's 1 Kings 17:17. So she went to Elijah and basically said, what good is it if I have food and if my son's going to die? I thought I was doing good, but, taking care of you for the Lord and feeding you. And the reward is that my son's dead or dying, as it was. Elijah took the son from her and he took him to a loft where he was staying. And he laid him on his bed. And then he cried out to God, "Oh Lord, my God, I pray that let this child should come back into him again. Oh Lord, my God, I pray that let this child should come back into him again." It's 1 Kings 7:21. The boy was immediately revived, and Elijah took him down to the mother. She was obviously very thankful, and she said, "I know that thou art a man of God, and that the word of the Lord is in thy mouth is true." 1 Kings 17:24. So that's just one story of Elijah. There's many more. He went back, and I will probably share those at another time. But I think in these times that we are dealing with all these crazy things, with the fires and then the terrible airplane accident and all the other things going on, I think it's easy for us to forget about our roots. And we need to. I think we need, as a society, need to get back and remember what's important, which is family. It is life. It is God. And if you do pray, the Lord will answer. He does. I'm not just saying that because it's what I believe. He's come through for me quite a few times, maybe not as dramatic as he came through for Elijah, but he has answered my prayers, and I don't know where I would have been without him. So anyway, that's it. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe. You can send me emails. You can ask me questions, whatever. And hopefully this was informative, and it was kind of a break from the critiques and reviews from Emilia Perez. So have a great rest of the weekend, guys. This is Reverend Bill Ryan signing off for now. Bye-bye.